Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to focus on Trapassato Prossimo. It feels like a tongue twister just to say that. Trapassato Prossimo. It's obviously an Italian verb tense, and it's a verb tense that links to the past. We're going to look at how it's formed and when you're going to use it, and it's going to help you quite a lot, I think, to level up how you speak in Italian. Let's just move on from simply using imperfetto and passato prossimo. Try the trapassato prossimo. Okay? There is a little bonus at the end, so you might want to watch this video until the end to find out the bonus. Trapassato prossimo in Italian is mainly used to express actions that occurred before another past action. It's equivalent to the past perfect tense in English. Let me give you an example in a sentence so that you understand immediately what I'm talking about. Quando sono arrivata a casa, mia mamma aveva già cucinato la cena. So when I arrived home, my mother had already cooked dinner. So if you place these actions on a timeline, you will notice that we're having two actions and one will come before the other. So, quando sono arrivata a casa, when I arrived, let's put that on the timeline. My mom had already, so the action that my mom did is something that happens before my coming home. Let's look at another sentence. Try to do the reasoning with me, okay? Avevo già letto quel libro prima che diventasse famoso. I had already read that book before it became famous. Once again, let's pop it into a timeline. These two actions happen in the past, but one of the two happens before the other one, always keeping it in the past. So the fact that I have already read the book is an action that is coming before the fact of the book becoming famous. So one action is before the other, but both actions are in the past. I know this gets confusing sometimes. Let's focus on how to form the trapassato prossimo. I love to say it, trapassato prossimo. You will need an auxiliary verb, so essere or avere, and they will be in the imperfetto verb tense. To that, you're going to need to add on the past participle of the main verb. So if I have io ero andato, ero is your essere in the imperfetto, andato is your past participle of the main verb. Lui aveva visto, aveva imperfetto, visto past participle. Now, let's look at the quick review of essere and avere, your auxiliary verbs, in the imperfetto. Say them with me. Io avevo, tu avevi, lui lei aveva, noi avevamo, voi avevate, loro avevano. Io ero, tu eri, lui lei era, noi eravamo, voi eravate, loro erano. Let's now look at the conjugation in relation to the different verb tenses in the past. So we're using the trapassato with passato prossimo. Let me give you an example. Ero appena arrivata a casa quando hai telefonato. Or we can use it with passato remoto. Persi il treno perché avevo fatto tardi. Or with imperfetto. Non volevamo fare l'esercizio che il prof ci aveva assegnato. As you can see, it expresses an action that is happening before another action in the past. Take note that if the past action is not specifically mentioned, but it is implied, you can also use trapassato prossimo alone. I have an example for you. Bello questo film. Non l'avevo ancora visto. Non era mai stato a Firenze prima d'ora. In both sentences, the past action is not clearly mentioned, but it is implied, it's understood. And in this case, you're just simply going to use the trapassato prossimo alone. Look at the first one. Bello questo film. Non l'avevo ancora visto. So it's clear that you're talking about a movie that you have seen, so it's something that's happened in the past, and that before that moment you had not seen it yet. Avevo visto. Don't get tricked on the words that are filling up the sentence, but your verb tense is there. Avevo visto. Avevo, auxiliary verb. Avere in the imperfetto form. Visto, your past participle, okay? As you can guess by these two sentences, there are some adverbs that are often used with this verb tense, and they can help you to know when you need to use it. These adverbs are mai, prima, ancora, sempre. There are many more, of course. To further expand on its use, you can keep in mind that the main idea is that it describes actions that happened before another past event. I know, I keep saying it, but I really want you to focus on that and get that in your head. But you will also use trapassato prossimo when you're talking about hypothetical situations in the past. Se avessi saputo, non sarei venuto alla festa. If I had known, I wouldn't have come to the party. So for sure you have already spotted out your congiuntivo. And in this case, we're using congiuntivo together with trapassato prossimo. So it's a hypothetical situation in the past. If I had known, so I'm talking about the past, I would not have come. Okay? Similar to English, but it can be tricky. You can also use it for narrative purposes, always linked to a narrative that talks about a past. Why would you do this? Why would you need it in this way? Well, because in this way, it gives a very nice chronological order and clarity to the storytelling. Look at this sentence with me. Il ladro era già fuggito quando la polizia arrivò. This means the thief had already fled when the police arrived. You get a more precise idea of what happened when, so the chronological order of the story. Now we have arrived to the bonus part of the video, so here is the bonus information and use of the trapassato prossimo. Did you know that you can use the trapassato prossimo to be super polite? Yes, this mainly happens with the verb venire, to come. Now, I'll show you an example, okay? So look at this sentence with me. Buongiorno, ero venuta a parlare con il professor Rossi. In this case, you are just using trapassato prossimo instead of using passato prossimo. And you're using it to create a super polite sentence. The meaning is, I came by to talk to the professor. You can absolutely say, buongiorno, sono venuta a parlare con il professor Rossi. Don't get me wrong, this sentence here is completely and let's say grammatically correct. But if you say it, it results to being a little bit strong and direct. Okay, you're being a little bit, not brutal, but very direct. If instead you say, ero venuta, ero venuto, it's a bit more polite. You're more saying, oh, I stopped by. It doesn't feel like I'm here, you need to talk to me. But if you use trapassato prossimo, all of this just sounds a little bit more nicer and more polite. So I suggest that you try to use that in those situations where you think an extra level of politeness is needed. Let me know what you think about this video. If you have any doubts, please get in touch with me. You have all of this beautifully written out in the PDF, so download it. And if you're in my newsletter, you are going to get it for free. You probably already have it in your inbox for free. So this is it for today. I'll see you next week. Un bacione. Mwah!